What is up, all my beautiful legends? I hope you guys are having a great week, and we are continuing our story time with issue number 5 of Geiger. We're going to start right off with a nice little flashback, and he says Geiger's family was locked inside the shelter while he was caught in fallout. Somehow, whether it was because of the experimental cancer treatment he'd undergo or his will to survive, he was turned into a human glow stick. He spent the next 20 years protecting his family basically from a grave. You know, his family was dead for years, sheltered in the cave, in the bombs that started the unknown war, and that was driving him mad. Once he found out about them, like I said, you saw it in the last issue, he snapped. Geiger killed most of the knights but left the king alive, scarred forever like Geiger himself. After that day, the glowing man headed out into the desert with nowhere to go. So basically, just kind of wrapping you back up, he went nuts, exploded, snapped, that was the flashback, that's where he was going, and then it led until he met the two children on the run from the king, hoping to get somewhere to play safe. Where was that? Remember, they were trying to find somewhere with the football, trying to find the missile silos. The last holdout of the United States, it was called NORAD. Geiger agreed to take them there, but things didn't go as planned, as Geiger is absolutely just laid out from his last battle, and this is where we're going to continue. So here we got Geiger kind of coming to. Barbie's bringing him his rods, puts him back in. He's like, good dog. He sees the van all abandoned, nobody around, and then it cuts back to the kids. They're like, what are you doing out here? The people on the cars and bikes tried to get us. You don't need to worry about them now, son. What's in the bag? So they originally, were just trying to help them, not really worried about what's going on, not really there to hurt them. And he's like, it's a football! Henry, wait, these people don't know, but Mom said it belongs to them. And he's like, General, showing the person in the yellow suit. And she's like, my mom found it. We don't know where it's from, but everybody wants it. Yeah, they do, kid. We need to get this back to base. And he's like, hey, let go. Don't you kids worry. We're the good guys. And she's like, wait, our friend's down there. And then Barney gets tasered. Bzzz. And then he's like, boom. And as Tariq turns around, bop, he gets smacked in the head as he's knocked unconscious. So we're going to see what happens with him. So now we're checking up with the king and the king's men. He's like, look at that smoke. Stop there. Where is the glowing man? Why won't you answer him? And he's like, because you smashed his skull in. You realize most of these scabs don't even talk. Look at that one. It's got 3 eyes. As he's just beating this dude to a pulp trying to get information. He's like, bah! When we find those children, absolute power will be in my hands. Mr. Karl Karloff, Milky Way, even Safari Bob himself will bow before me. He's like, Goldberg ain't doing no bowing, king. That's the deal. We carve up Vegas, we rule it together. You get the glowing man, stuff him out. He's like, sir, we found something. Excellent. And then it cuts back to the kids, and he's like, I have chills again. And she's like, it's your nerves, Henry. You're good. Everything's going to be safe. He's like, but where's Tariq and Barney? I like Barney. As you can see, they're going into blast doors opening, and it says radioactivity decontamination in progress as they have Tariq strapped to a table as they're moving them into, NORAD, some kind of facility. So now we have a nice little story and plot thickener right here. It says the nuclear football went missing years ago when Air Force One went down. How did these children come into possession of it? They said their mother gave it to them, Mr. Vice President. So now we see the Vice President of the United States at this current time. It's like when Air Force One went down, it was scavenged, the football was lost, we thought, best case is destroyed. He's like, so we can locate the silos that have remained hidden and take control of our nuclear arsenal. The South, the Great Lakes, will have no choice but to unite under President Griffin again. So he's currently the Vice President. He wants to be president, So he's trying to basically, whoever owns this football, whoever has control of the nukes, has control of the world, just like how the world is today. He's like, what about this man, General? The one with the children. We thought he was one of the organ people, but there's no signs of malignant growth anywhere. He's not an air breather. He's something else. And he's like, as got a Geiger reader on him. It's like tick, 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 tick. And he says, these readings are unreal. Rads are over 100 times higher than the organ people. How is this possible? I don't know, but it's fascinating. For some reason, this man is capable of breathing in air without any adverse signs of radiant exposure. There's nothing wrong with him. Nothing. He's like, oh, what are these? As he notices his rods that, you know, if they take them out of his bag, he can power up to Geiger. We're cut back to the kids, and they're kind of getting a tour of the place, and she's like, right down here is the school. He's like, your school? And you see a bunch of kids playing. And he's like, they're playing, Henry, between classes. And they're like, classes? He's like, lots of things. Environmental, restoration, farming, art. So basically they have the whole school down here. They have a whole infrastructure, and as they're walking away, he says, good luck, and he's just standing there with both his fingers crossed. So now he's like, ugh, these things are really in there. And then he yanks them out, and he's like, what are they? They look like nightsticks, but what do you think they do? As you see Geiger's eyes light up green, and he just lifts his arm, you know, melting out of those handcuffs. He's like, I don't think we should have taken those out. And he's like, good observation. He's just melting off the table, ready to do something. So now they got both the kids separate. You know, they're probably going to do their individual questioning. And she's like, oh, hello there. It's lunchtime. He's like, can I see my brother? As soon as his tests are done, you can see him. He's like, it's been a long time. We're just testing, waiting for results. She's like, now go ahead and eat something. And she's got a full cheeseburger, french fries. This kid probably hasn't seen this kind of food in so long. Now we cut back to Geiger, and he's like, quiet mind, I'm trying to read. As dude gets thrown out of there. Geiger's all powered up. He's like, that a good book? Powers down. He's like, I like it. And then bashes his head through the, you know, little container where Barney is. He's like, come on, boy. Snatches the book because, you know, Tariq, like he said before, he's always looking for new books to read. He's like, we got the kids here. Time to go. So now Tariq and Barney are loose in this facility, and they're going to go rescue the kids and try and make a mad dash. Now, like I said, they were doing tests, but they find out something terrible. The girl is healthy, but the boy, he's sick. Leukemia. The cancer is in its early stages, but you know the laws. Yes, I know the laws. He's like, hello, hi, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much for helping us. He's being all nice, and that's the kid that they just saw that they, you know, found with leukemia. I'll talk to his sister, and for God's sake, please get him some dessert. And his sister's like, where's Henry? He's safe, Haley, but he's sick. He's like, has your brother been experiencing any signs of fatigue or discomfort? And you periodically will see him, you know, cough a little bit, say he doesn't feel well. And she's like, well, yeah, but I thought he was just complaining he never wants to do anything. He's just a little kid. And she's like, he has acute lymphonic leukemia. She's like, what? Can you help him? Oh, Haley, I wish you could. But she basically explains that, like Walking Dead, like most apocalyptic shows, if you have a facility like that, they don't take in sick people. If you're there, if you're living, and you become sick, they'll take care of you, but they're not going to waste their resources on somebody who's already sick, and, you know, they just don't have enough food, have enough power, or anything. And she's like, we have a compassionate, life-ending program here. He will have a peaceful passing, I assure you. And she's like, no, Henry, and takes off. And she's like, Henry. He's like, what is it? And as the dog starts barking and growling, he's like, this is a good place. And he snatches her up. She's like, it's your home now. And she's like, no, let go. So basically, she's getting snatched up. She's trying to run, and she's starting to see this place for its true colors. Then bam, out of nowhere, Barney just snatches this dude up. And she's like, what happened? And he's like, where's Henry? They said he was sick. What? They said they were going to kill him. As there's blood all over the wall, Barney took care of everybody. He's like, that won't happen. Now we cut back to the officials. He's like, President Griffin has made contact and has approved the missions to locate the silos. We can. He's like, Mr. Vice President, we have a problem with the children's guardian. He's like, we don't tolerate violence here. It's been a while, but send our best soldier to take care of this. And this is where I'm referencing back to Junkyard Joe, and why I think reading this makes reading Junkyard Joe a lot more meaningful, and you're going to see it in the final issue. I don't want to really spoil anything, but they've talked about Junkyard Joe here and there, but you're really going to see him who he truly is. And it says, bring the robot online. So I think that's great, man. I can't wait. And you see Joe right there. So reading this again, like kind of going back through it with you guys, just means so much more to me, because like I said, reading this for the first time and then reading Junkyard Joe and then coming back to this and revisiting it after reading Junkyard Joe, it's just a lot of references and a lot of symbolism, and I think makes these really deep stories, and I think it brings them to a lot more light. So I really recommend these. Like I said, April 3rd, it's Ghost Machine Day. We have one more issue, which again, I apologize I didn't have a video up yesterday. I was just busy. I filmed a long style vlog video that's going to replace my Sunday sesh on Easter. So hopefully you guys enjoy that kind of style video where I'm out hunting comics. I go to a couple shops. I hit up a Target, Barnes & Noble, check out a couple places. So I really hope you guys enjoy that. I do hope you enjoy this Storytime series. Let me know if you want me to continue it next week. I might have a little bit different theme with my unboxings, but here and there I'm going to revisit stories with Storytime and kind of go over it in this format just to help anybody along that hasn't read this and wants to follow along and just to learn more about some of these favorite characters of mine. So I truly appreciate any time and support. You guys really mean the world to me. Make sure you hit the links down in the description. Any of that really helps my channel, and it all comes back to me in its ways to follow and keep up to date with any news and content with my channel. So I love you guys, stay legendary, and as always, I hope you guys found what you're looking for.